Watch who?
Hello.
And welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
I'm a Doctor Who fan.
I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
Sarah, I'm going to have some tea. I know you don't drink tea. Would you like a hot chocolate?
Oh, I'd love a hot chocolate.
Okay, I should get a hot chocolate. How about a bit of a gravy with that? Or some mutton, perhaps?
Oh, sounds lovely.
Ah! Yeah, it's Human Nature and the Family of Blood this week. I quite like that little intro. I'm proud of that one.
I bet you are. I got it as well. I was a bit like, where's he going with this?
Yeah, we're watching Doctor Who Series 3. A really good one this week, I think. I don't know what you think about it yet at all. I have no idea.
He has no idea.
Yeah. Just an update from last week, though, by the way. 42, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about, once I've edited the episode and everything, are we going to get to 42 minutes or not? We did 32 minutes in the end. I did do a bit of editing. I was like, this is really short. We're 32, not 42, unfortunately.
Oh, very low.
There we are. And also, just to update as well, I did actually put a clip of this in last week's, but I managed to find the CD single of Michelle Collins' Sunburn singing the TV theme. So I'll put a picture up of that for everyone to see. I might watch it, actually. It's about, like, holiday reps in somewhere or other. It looks quite good. Anyway, there we are. That's all the updates I've got this week.
Updates from Mark.
Yeah. We should talk about today's episode, though, pretty quick, because it's a fan favourite, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I can see that.
What does it do?
Chameleon arch. Rewrites my biology. Literally changes every single cell in my body. I've set it to human. Now, the TARDIS will take care of everything. Invent a life story for me, find me a setting and integrate. Can't do the same for you. You'll just have to improvise. I should have just enough residual awareness to let you in.
But, hold on, if you're going to rewrite every single cell, isn't it going to hurt?
Oh, yeah. It hurts.
It's a fab. It was voted, when that poll was done of like all the stories, it's like top 3, I would say. It's up there. Well, top 5 at least. It definitely got like a Doctor Who magazine cover. It was that good at one point. But I don't know if you know a little bit of the history of this particular story.
Tell me,
Here we go. We knew, I'd say we, the fans, sorry, we knew this was going to be part of this series because it was in the news, not in the Doctor Who news, not like the main news of the world or anything, but it was in the news.
News stories tonight.
Because top story.
Trevor McDonald there telling the news.
It was in the news, the Doctor Who magazine news, that Human Nature was part of this because it was a book in 1995. It was originally a book with Sylvester McCoy's Doctor, the 7th Doctor. Like, it was quite exciting. It was like, this book is going to be adapted as part of a TV episode. And I think the book was a fan favourite as well. Like, you can't get, I mean, the copy of the actual book is like really expensive nowadays. I've got the audio book of it though. It's 8 hours long if you want to borrow it.
All right.
But yeah, so it was the 7th Doctor originally this happened to. And it was changed quite a little bit. Like the author on TV, Paul Cornell, is credited, but I think it was Ross T. Davis that did a lot of this TV episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything out of the book. I've not actually read the book. And like I say, the audiobook is like 8 hours long. So I've been asleep for quite a lot of it. But the basics were kept. So it was still that idea that the Doctor like changed. He was like hiding. He changed to be human. There were aliens after him. It's set in the school. The stuff with Joan and the love story there happened. And it's set in the same time, just before the war as well. So all that's going on. But there's a lot more in the book. Like, it's not the actual family of blood. It's different aliens. There's some loads of other characters. Like, the love stuff is a bit different. I think he goes for lots of like picnics and things. Like, it's really weird. I can't imagine Sylvester McCoy doing all of that love stuff and kissing and everything like in the book. It's like when Sylvester McCoy snogged that woman in that Probe episode. I was like, well, you just don't want to see that. I think it does probably suit David Tennant better, but it's funny that it was originally this book. So that's where this comes from. And maybe that's where some of the love for this story comes from as well.
Yeah, I can see that because it's such a popular book. And actually, so whereas Lazarus the week before, I was like, it feels like there's an idea, but not enough substance. We've got the basis of an idea. It either feels like it's an idea that needs to keep going, but they don't have enough. It's one episode, right? This is the opposite. This feels like it is a full story. This feels like it has all the parts of a full story. So I can see how this was a novel first. I can totally see that now, yeah.
I think we found as well that two-parters work really well. Like, you just get so much more from these new series two-parters. Maybe part 2 sometimes runs out of steam a little bit, but I am enjoying when we have a two-parter. I know it's more for you to watch.
It's a lot more for me to watch.
Did you watch these back to back?
Yes, I did actually. I had to think then. I did. I watched. That wasn't my intention though. That's why I had to think. Originally I was going to split it up because I did find it a little bit intense. I enjoyed it, but it was just quite a lot to take in, and I kind of felt like I needed a break, but I did end up watching them back to back.
Well, shall we start going through the story then? That's probably the best way. And we shall discuss as we go. Because we go straight into the story. The Doctor and Martha, like pre-titles, are in that TARDIS, in the middle of an adventure. Obviously, Martha's just clothes watch again. Martha's in a different outfit. They've obviously had a couple of adventures in between now. We're not going literally from day 1 to day 2 anymore.
No, she was changed.
And do you know what? I was just thinking, we haven't had that much in the TARDIS. And you know, I said before, it was like a bit too dark and green in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit too light now. I'm not sure about... I think it should be a bit darker now, actually. There's still enough green there, but I don't know. I just didn't like the way that the TARDIS is a bit too... It just looked like more of a set to me for some reason. We don't really know what's going on. We're like straight into this thing, and then suddenly the Doctor's waking up, and Martha's the maid there, and we're all in this whole different situation. I think that's a really effective way of telling the story.
Yeah.
Really interesting that we don't have it in like a linear way where we find out what the Doctor's done and all of that. It keeps you guessing a little bit. And we're in 1913 in a boarding school. A lot of location here. Actually, I think is it all location? I mean, it's all...
Yeah, it's all I think in location. I was just trying to think. There's maybe one bit on the set when she's back in the TARDIS.
Yeah. I mean, it's all St. Fagans National Museum of History, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much,
Did you recognise it?
I recognise the bits where St. Fagans are St. Fagans. The bit that was like at the start, I thought it was at Llandaff School, but it's not. And apparently there's one bit, because James looked it up, there's one bit that's at BBC Studios that's no longer BBC. It's gone as that now.
Because I think the school is there. There's some in Llandaff Cathedral. Oh no, that's where they're flashback and them getting married and stuff.
There's the Llandaff. There used to be the BBC Studios at Llandaff.
Oh yes,
but that's gone now.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, Llandaff Broadcasting House.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Oh, that's just the bit with Martha running past Tim in the future. Yeah, but yeah, most of it I think is. Oh no, sorry, the school is a bit further out in Brecon. The outside of the school is Brecon, but nearly all of like the shop, the village, all of that, like where the pub is, like all the little houses, that is all
St. Fagans Natural History Museum.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And for people that don't know, I think this is what it is. It's like all different houses and stuff, like historic houses and things, but they've been brought there from other places to like keep them, what's the word? I don't know, to stop them being like demolished elsewhere and all that kind of stuff. So you've got like a row of like farmhouses from whenever. You've got like these other sort of historical houses from other places that have been moved there. And I can't believe it because you probably don't remember, but there was, the Vulcan pub, which was opposite the University of Glamorgan. I remember it being there when I first came to Cardiff.
Oh, I know it's in St. Fagans now.
Well, it is, yeah. So
They've rebuilt it. They took it down brick by brick, and they've spent years rebuilding the entire thing. Yeah, and now you can go in and have a pint.
Because I remember it being there, and there was like building a car park or something, and then it disappeared, and now like 10 years later, it's in St Fagans as like one of the buildings there. They took it apart, like brick by brick to save this historical pub. So that's what they do. So all those houses and everything there have been like sort of brought there together as a collection. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah,
it's quite
because
a big place.
You can go and have, like, they were looking for servers for the pub. That was a job. Like, they have like proper servers in the bar. Go and have a pint in St Fagans.
Yeah. So if you want to do your Doctor Who locations, literally you can walk around that village and it is as you see it on screen because it's all the historical stuff. Really recognisable, all those places. Like where Martha gets the bicycle and goes to where the TARDIS is, there's a really nice little like bird hide there and you can watch the birds and feed the birds and stuff. That bit. I even recognise that bit of the forest. Yeah, it's a really nice place.
It's like somewhere when my parents came down, I remember they were like, oh, that sounds interesting, let's go there. And we went and they were like, this place is amazing. And it is, like, because it's just all outdoors. It's huge.
Well, yeah, because you've got all that village stuff and then you can go up into the forest and there's like Anglo-Saxon houses and stuff there and it's all sorts of different things. Yeah, really good. Like there's little like, what they call the little water mill things and everything there. Yeah, loads of stuff there. So yeah, very recognisable. So we're in that time period, which I think is quite interesting. And it fits with like the themes of all of this. Like you say, it's very like a novel, isn't it? Like you can feel like the themes of the war coming in, sort of built in through this. It gets a little bit sort of Downton rom-com a little bit. So you've got John Smith, the Doctor, not knowing he's the Doctor, and Joan, the nurse who works at the school, played by Jessica, I want to say Stevenson, but she Hines now. I can't remember. She changed her name. From Spaced. Loved her from Spaced. That's what I know her from. I mean, she's done so many things.
I said it was Space. I was like, is it Black Books or Space? And it's Space she's from.
It's always Space for me. That is the best thing for her. Like, that is my favourite character that she's ever played, is Daisy in Spaced. So that's quite nice. So you've got that relationship. And Martha obviously knows what's going on and is trying to, like, keep that whatever situation is happening going on. And actually this is quite interesting because I mean she mentions that they've been there, they've got another month to go, so you have no idea. In my mind they're like there for like 3 months. They're proper living in that situation for a long time, which is quite unusual in a Doctor Who story, like on TV anyway. It's quite unusual to have that amount of time. Poor old Martha, she cannot catch a break. Now she has to be the Doctor and look after everything. Like, and she didn't ask for any of this.
But actually, in terms of like setup, I think it's done really well because with that sort of like, what's at the start and then we're in it. It's not like it could be confusing. We're just set up like he doesn't know who he is. He's human as well. He only has one heart. That's made clear because when they do the whole heart thing and then we get a flashback as to what's happened.
Yes, so it's this. So there's families after them, and the only way the Doctor can like get rid of them is to like disguise himself and become human. Which I'm sure there's bigger threats that he could have done this for in the past.
Oh yeah,
mind. And he looks up and there's this chameleon arch thing. And I was thinking, has that been hanging there this whole time? We never see the ceiling of the TARDIS. We never get that. What else is hanging up there that we don't know about? That's just been there for years. And they always had that thing swinging around up there. But where else can you get it from? There's no furniture in it. You can't get it out of a drawer or go to another room. It's got to be hanging on the ceiling when you think about it, because there's nowhere else in that room that you can get that from.
But then it makes me think about the modern TARDIS, which seems so big and tall. Couldn't it come from the top of that one? It'd have a real long way to drop down. This one feels like it could, because we're just not seeing it on camera.
I think there's sort of some wires and things sometimes you see sort of hanging down a little bit, that kind of stuff. I know because before I fell asleep in the audiobook, the Doctor goes to like a space on another planet. He goes to like a space bazaar and he buys whatever that device is to do it. He buys it from somebody to do it. That's very different in the book. Anyway, yeah, I like how we go back then and find out, and it's the watch. He is inside the watch. That's what's disguising him, and that's there. Oh, we've got that, what's his name? Latimer, the kid, who is very well known. What is he in?
Well, I know him. I can always think of him. He's in Nanny McPhee, but he's the kid from...
you can say Nativity or something.
Love Actually.
Oh, Love Actually. That's it. Love Actually, yes.
And he's he's in a Disney show that's on now, and I can't remember the name of it. He's like the lead in that.
He's in loads of stuff. Yeah, he's gone on to do a lot, but he's obviously quite young here. So he can sort of sense what's going on. Well, all the boys in the school and stuff. It's of this time. It's just before the Second World War, and there's this theme there. And this in the school, they're doing all like the shooting lessons and all of that kind of stuff. You've got this there's sort of an atmosphere to it, I think, where we know what's going to happen, and it is of that time. And I think this probably did happen. You know, they're all sort of looking forward to war, or they're trained to be. Do you know what I mean?
But they talk about it. They don't see the war coming,
and they don't see it coming. And even but the headmaster guy's like, "Oh, I hope you get to be there's a war soon, so you get to it's that kind of attitude." And it reminds me of there's I've read the book, but All Quiet on the Western Front, the Netflix show, they did a good version of it. It's exactly the same in that. They're all these young boys from that kind of time. And they all want to sign up, and they lie about their age. They say they're older than they are to sign up because they want to go to the front in the war. And then when they get there, it's so horrific, and you see all of the horrible things that they go through. It's interesting to bring that into Doctor Who and have that in this sort of historical setting. I don't know. I quite like that though, in a weird way. It's
but also,
it's quite effective, I think.
The story itself, particularly for the war that's to come. I mean, the Second World War has more clarity, but the First World War, no one really knew why they were fighting. I mean, they knew who they were fighting, but I cannot tell you why they were fighting. Do you know why in the First World War the British and the Germans were fighting?
First World War, I don't know. I only know what happened in Downton Abbey in the first few series because that sister went off to help in the First World War.
But this is kind of we know more about the Second World War. Why people were fighting.
Yeah, I feel it's more of because you do that in history in school and stuff. I don't remember ever talking about the First World War in school.
No, I can remember talking about the trenches and about how terrible it was, the conditions, how many people died, about what happened on Great Christmas Day when they had a truce, the Sainsbury's advert of it and stuff like that.
That's Second World War.
No, that's the First World War.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, that's all the First World War. This is I think the First World War's one of those that they had the separate sides, and they were in France, and they were fighting each other, and it's one of those wars that we're fighting them, and we're fighting them, and it went on for 2.5 years, but a lot of people died, and a lot of people got very sick, and that sort of thing of, oh, we're gonna go and do this, and everyone signed up, and not many people came back, or they came back scarred from it, and no one could really tell you through that why we're fighting a war. And this kind of this episode is kind of a bit of a thing of that. They're there, they don't even know what they're fighting and why do they want to fight them. They don't even know. It's kind of a sort of a symbol of war itself a little bit. I think it's of that war that they're about to go and fight.
But also it uses that theme as well because the Doctor's not the Doctor. He's John Smith. So he's
doing what he thinks is, oh, well, we go fight the enemy. Why? Well, why do they want you? Don't know. This is what we do.
Yeah. And he's doing things that the Doctor wouldn't do. And you can see him in that situation. And then you've got Joan as well, who's a widow from that first war, and she's watching them do all this fighting and stuff.
Well, she's not even the first war. I can't remember what happened to her husband. It's not the first war. The first war hasn't been yet.
No, this is Second World War happening.
No, it's 1913. 1913.
Oh God, oh my God, please, historians, do not listen to this right now. No.
It's 1913. Which war was 1914?
Oh my God, yes. I'm so sorry. In my mind, oh my God, 30. Yeah, it's the 30s and 40s, wasn't it? Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Should I edit this out or keep this in? Oh my God.
That's what I mean. That's why I think they're all going off to war. There have been people that were soldiers and stuff, but then when it was the Great War, wasn't it? We're all going off to the Great War, and
yes,
a lot of people didn't return.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've completely got everything wrong. Yeah.
Because then the Second World War, people were really scared because it was like 10 years later by the time people came back.
Yeah, First World War, 1914 to 1918.
1918, there we are.
Yeah. Okay, in my mind, that was heading towards... do you know what confused me? Because when Latimer and that are having those flash forwards, I thought that looked like World War II to me. I don't know why. I thought that was World War II.
No, it's World War One.
Because they're all in the green and stuff, and this is really weird. This is all film and TV programs, okay, that has put this in my head. In World War One, they're all wearing like sort of sepia and brown, and in World War Two, they've got green and the sort of those hats and things. That is my sort of imagery in my mind of the different world wars. That's so weird.
You're probably right, but
sort of like safari. It's more
here.
like sort of safari suit things in World War One. In my mind, it's probably not that. That's just TV. Okay, I'm completely confused now. It's World War One. Oh my god. Anyway, it's still horror. It still stands though, doesn't it? It's like she's watching them, and she's like, if there is a war, they're not going to be as excited and like.
But she knows that because her husband was a soldier and did fight in war.
Yeah.
But the majority of people were like you say, they were happy to sign up. They lied about their age. They were like, yeah, I was going to sign up because it was a great war. It was like what you did. World War II came later and was a bit different. People were a bit more cautious of that because of coming back after World War One, and they saw how people didn't return, and they saw how people didn't survive it.
I just got confused because that headmaster was, like I say, he was like, you should be in a war. And then in part 2, he was like, when he was trying to save the girl, he was like, oh, no children should be part of this. I'm like, you literally have all of your children you have trained to be fighting.
Yeah, but they're boys.
Do you know what I mean?
But they're boys.
It's just, it's, I think it's really interesting the way it uses the war sort of themes throughout this. John Smith, the Doctor, has all these different like dreams and stuff, so he's sort of seeping through what's going on, and he has that journal that he shows Joan, and it's got all those drawings in of like series 1 and 2 of Doctor Who. And this was a big moment for fans because when he's looking through, and I remember being so excited at this, so you've got all like Slitheen and all of that kind of stuff. And it's got, I think you see a bit of Sylvester McCoy, and the camera focuses on you have Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor. And this is the first time, really, that he has been acknowledged as a doctor. Because you had that TV movie, which was sort of halfway through the series. Was it part, and obviously Christopher Eccleston came along, and it wasn't acknowledged, the history. I mean, even New Who hasn't acknowledged that much history of the old Doctors, actually, even.
No, this is like the first recognition of the past, like true recognition of the past.
We haven't had any flashbacks of like classic or anything.
Other than Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane, yeah. This is the first time, really, and to make it Paul McGann as well, to say, yes, he is the legitimate Doctor, that was so exciting. Again, because Paul McGann, he just had that one thing in 96, and now there he is in the New Who. I know it's only like an ink picture of him, but that was the best thing. That was really, yes, he is part of this show. He is in that book. So that was really exciting. Of course, we have a picture of Rose, don't we? We have a bit more Rose. We go back to that stuff. I mean, actually, Martha is, she's going through a lot in this. I do appreciate that. But that whole, again, the love thing is just coming up even more because she sort of feels like a rival to Joan's a bit jealous of her. And then the Doctor mentions Rose, and then she even, well, at least she gets to tell John Smith how she feels. I think the Doctor remembers that by the end, and it's a bit awkward. But, I mean, months and months, she doesn't know anyone else here. She's living in this world now. She doesn't know when the Doctor's going to come back. And there's all that, why didn't he fall in love with me and all of that. I just think, I can't tell her to like enjoy it this time because it's not a fun situation, but why do we have, I mean, it fits more in this story than it has in like some of the others, at least because you've got the Joan thing and you've got the actual, the Doctor's never going to actually fall in love like that, well, apart from Rose. In this way, it's a different kind of falling in love. It's like human love,
it's human, and the situation would be, it's a time thing, it's a whole situation thing, that his character would never fall in love with Martha. I mean, he is of a higher status than her in this.
Oh, in John Smith, yes. Yeah. And I think she knows that, but then she's like, oh, why does he fall in love with, like, Joan? What do you think of Joan? Because sometimes I want to like her because she's played by Jessica Hines and I love her, but she's of her time, isn't she? I don't think she's that nice character. Do you know what I mean? I feel like she's a bit hard.
I think she's I quite liked her. I think she's obviously quite smart, and that is what he's drawn to. She's a smart woman, which in that time might not be very seen. Because she's been married before. She's medical of some sort. We know that she's lost her husband, so she's a widow.
Sometimes I can't make her mind, and you feel very sorry for her at the end because she's gone through it, and then the doctor changes back and stuff. And
I think she's a very practical woman. I think but also has been through a lot. As in, she's lost her husband, she's been through grief, and that makes her a bit tougher. And the nature as well is the time and the period because she's the school nurse.
Yeah.
In some ways, she's more ahead of, like when she sees them out there not playing, but like they're doing the bar things, and she's like, well, they're just boys, aren't they? And she has that conversation with him. That's a conflict for her, but I think but she also knows her place in it's a different time. I think she's very clever, and I think that's what he's attracted to. And I think she sort of is attracted to his smartness as well, and because initially I wondered, because obviously the story just lands, and he's been very open with her, and she's open with this book, and I was thinking, is she part of this? That was my initial thing. I was like, is she part of it? Because she's very open to listening to these dreams that he's having and looking at this journal, these weird stories that he's having. And I think if she was a less intelligent woman, she would have just dismissed him as being oh, well, these are just weird stories. But because she's quite smart, she reads them and is intrigued by these stories of this man, who is a very clever man and a very kind man, quite clearly.
And I suppose she actually sees in part one the green light and the alien-y thing, so she does see evidence straight away, which sort of opens her mind a bit for later on when Martha's trying to say. She sort of pieces it together. She knows there's something going on.
Yeah, well, she says herself, Martha, you've looked in, he's very different to anyone you've ever met. She's a product of a time where, she's had to suck it up and get on with it and not have time for grief and not have time for wallowing and just get on with life in a way.
Yeah. She's not, I don't know, maybe it's because she's not that when we have a side character of the week that joins the Doctor and Martha or whoever, and they're usually up for the adventure, and she's not she's the opposite.
Do you know she reminds me of Mary from Downton Abbey?
Yes, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it's that kind
It's that sort of character.
Not overly showing emotion.
Yeah, but it's there, but she's not, she hasn't, it's a time where you can't do that.
Which makes Martha stand out when she's shouting at people and trying to...
Yeah, not knocking when she comes in. And
yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. She's a bit of a Downton Abbey type person. That's it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. She's not a fun character to be around. I think that's what it is sometimes. As it goes on anyway. But then she's going through a lot. So it's tough. It's more there's more emotional stakes in this one than we've had in Doctor Who for a while. Do you know what I mean? It's more heavy, well, maybe not heavy, but it's quite a lot of emotion going on. We see a bit later on then. So as the story goes on, so it's this family that's after the Doctor, and it's Baines that gets taken over first, which you thought was the guy from Downton Abbey, but it's not.
Initially, I did. I was well excited. I was like, oh my God, got a Downton Abbey link, and then I realised, no, it's not.
I know what you mean, but no, it's not. I don't think he's done much else, other acting, actually. I think I remember at the time he was tipped to be quite the, the next big actor, but I feel I don't think he really ended up doing quite a lot, really.
He's really good in this, though.
Oh, the way that he plays it before he's taken over, he's great. But then the looks and the way that he moves his head and his eyes and everything when he is being
And he's completely commanding.
And the way it's shot as well when they're trying to like sniff out what's going on and those close-ups, and it's really well done. And well, Martha's friend Jenny, love Jenny, before she gets taken over, she's great. So she's Martha's friend. And then when she gets taken over, so we have obviously father of mine, mother of mine, son of mine, and daughter of mine, family. I really, whenever I see daughter of mine and that blimmin' balloon, I don't know why, in the Doctor Who exhibition in the Red Dragon Centre, there was always like an exhibition, and I just always remember it was like their clothes, and it was just like the jacket and the balloon, and it's just normal sort of period clothes. I was like, every time you go to this exhibition, I got to see the blimmin' Family of Blood clothes. And it's just like the guy's suit and stuff. It's so boring. It's the most boring display ever of the Family of Blood, because that's all it was. So it was like a mannequin with their pink coat and they're holding this balloon. I was like, great, pink coat and a balloon. It's not the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
No. However, her skipping down the street with a balloon, why?
Well, it's a bit creepy, isn't it? You know,
I think that is the point, but I was kind of like, where's she been? Where's she got this balloon from? She's just out in the country skipping along with a balloon. She's been at a party. Like, where's this balloon come from?
Yeah, no idea. It's just to be a creepy sort of like
creepy little girl. Yeah,
creepy girl, and she plays that really well as
oh
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so Martha then, when we find out, sorry, I'm just going all over the place, Martha's got the TARDIS hidden away and she goes, obviously visits regularly and watches that video. I was thinking, when we see that, the Doctor's like, quick, I've got to like put that arch on my head and turn into the thing. But she's watching those instructions. When did he have time to sit and record all those instructions? That doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't help that she's just sitting there playing it over again. It doesn't really like help, but fine. I don't know when that happened. That doesn't make sense. Oh, we see the scarecrows then as well, quite early on, because we need a monster.
The scarecrows are great. Like, really, really great.
Finally, we get a creepy scarecrow in Doctor Who, because I don't know if you remember, in Mark of the Rani, the Master was like a scarecrow for like 5 minutes for no reason at all, just to watch the Doctor and Perry walk across a field. But now we actually get legitimate, creepy, and actually maybe this is the first time Doctor Who was scary in New Who. The bit when they go to the village hall, the dance thing, and I think it's Latimer that the kid is outside the window, and there's a scarecrow that jumps up at the window suddenly.
Yeah.
When I first watched that, made me jump so much when I very first watched it when this was on TV. I remember that moment of like jumping back. That was really effective, I thought.
I think they're really effective for scarecrows. They're out there in the fields. I don't know why there's so many of them, but I think they're fantastic.
Well, there's tons, because in part 2, when they're attacking the school, I mean, there must be CGI multiplied, because there's a whole screen of them coming towards. I suppose you need that because it's like the army coming towards the kids, isn't it, who are shooting them all and everything. Yeah, really great, really good. As we move on, though, the piano moment. We've got to talk about the piano moment. That shop there is a really nice tea shop, and it literally it sells all that sort of period stuff. I don't think they had to dress any of that or in the window. That shop is as it is. You can go there and it will be the same. I suppose the piano thing is to show that the Doctor's in there somewhere. Those skills are there.
Yeah.
And that gives him the confidence to ask her out to the dance and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great set piece.
Well, part of me wonders, is it because the thing's starting to get open that more of it's coming out? Because this is one question I did have. I couldn't work out. I could hear gurgling noises and I couldn't work out if it was a cat or not. Sorry. I couldn't work out whether the boy, because he talks about hearing voices and things like that, and this is before we've had all that other stuff. It hasn't landed yet. He just says he can hear things sometimes. And then I was just trying to work out how he links into all this. Because actually, he picks it up because he can hear it, but no one else can hear it.
No, I think he's just got like a sort of psychic ability already, and it's just heightened because the watch is around.
But we've not had that before, have we? I've not like missed something
In the story?
in Doctor Who.
Well, I mean, somebody's been psychic in Doctor Who before, but we've had many a psychic person in Doctor Who. I cannot list any right now, but we've definitely had psychics. But yeah, maybe this is where maybe in the book it would explain a little bit more about what's going on there. But I think he's just picked up the way I've watched it when I'm watching it. He's got a sort of a second sight type thing already. He just knows stuff. He's got that ability. And then the watch is enhancing that so he can hear it. It's reaching out to him. I mean, he opens and shuts that watch so many blimmin' times. No wonder the Doctor's thing hasn't escaped already. I thought you opened it and it all whooshed out and that was it. Like, every time he opened the watch, I was like, again, really? Do you need to be doing this?
Sorry, Mark, just one sec. Okay. I think someone is sawing some wood, but it sounds like pipes.
Oh, right.
Like, it's like a sort of noise. And I was like, where is it coming from? Because this flat is fucking clean and I'm not having a pipe explode somewhere.
Oh, no.
And it sounded like, but it sounds like it's right above me. And I think someone's sawing wood. That's why I was just like, I'm just trying to listen a sec. But I think that's what it is.
You're right.
It's going in and out.
Okay.
So I don't think it's the pipes.
No.
I was like, is it the toilet? And then Mabel's there. I was like, is it the cat like being sick? No. And then I was no, I think it's sorry. I just wanted to be sure that my pipes weren't about to like explode in the kitchen or something after I spent all this money having someone clean the place. Sorry.
Okay. I've just looked up on Wikipedia, on TARDIS Wiki, and it says the fob watch containing the Doctor's Time Lord essence communicated with Tim and instructed him it could do this because Tim had low-level telepathic abilities it could access.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what it is. He was just sort of more susceptible to it.
Fun.
And you needed that, didn't you? You needed that character. He had to have the watch. The watch had to go missing. They couldn't just easily pick it up and sort it out.
You needed that for it to be 2 episodes.
You needed, yeah. It's all up to Tim that it was 2 episodes.
Yeah.
As we go on this, like towards end of part 1, it all sort of culminates in the tea dance. Love a tea dance. And Martha's trying to get the Doctor to wake up. The family know what's going on. They're all there. And you've got that cliffhanger he's got to choose.
Which one of them do you want us to kill? Maid or matron? Your friend or your lover? Your choice.
I
thought that was really clever. Part 2 does slow down a little bit for me. The family know what's going on. All the mysteries sort of been unravelled there. And then we're dealing, like we said before, with all the kids at the school. It's all a bit chaotic. There's a lot of running around, and I think it is there to pad it out a little bit, but I don't think you could add any other elements into the story at this point because there'll be too much going on.
It didn't feel too much like padding. However, I'll be honest, I struggled to concentrate a little bit more. That said, I wasn't planning to do 2 in one night, and I ended up doing the 2. So I can't work out whether it was a little bit the story and a little bit of myself, if I'm honest. That I did enjoy it still. That's not like I picked back up about halfway through. Kind of like what you've just said there. It doesn't wherever it goes, you kind of know it's not gonna go anywhere. Like they go back to the school. It's just sort of standoffs, isn't it?
Well, I think you've got to have the attitudes of everybody there at the school. So you need to find out what the headmaster's thinking about it all and all the kids and stuff. And these scarecrows are coming out of nowhere. They don't seem to be that bothered that there's like walking scarecrows going on. They don't believe it. I just think they don't really take on what's actually happening. And then you've got, Martha takes over for a lot. I love her with the gun and everything. She's really like...
She's great. That right brilliant. At the start, she's great. We then run to the school. There's sort of that back and forth. That's a good 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then you've got the Joan stuff. And then it's really the love story. And then John Smith has to decide. He has to kill himself,
that
basically.
Was probably the best. That's probably when I started to pick back up a little bit. Because that is what it comes down to. Like, he doesn't know this other part of himself. He's just this. And he knows he has to sacrifice. And he acts it so well.
It's sort of, though, although it's sort of Dick Doctor again a little bit, he didn't even consider any of this as what would happen. And like Joan says, you just randomly pick this village. Everyone's dead because you decided randomly to hide here. that's how the Doctor is very different. And, you know, he's poor Joan's gone through it. Poor old Martha's gone through it. Loads of people are dead.
Yeah, but they never predicted that watch would go missing.
Yeah, I suppose
In
so.
all of those 30 things that he said, he never predicted that he'd fall in love with someone. And I think that says a lot about the Doctor's character. And, like, even he says it, like, what you, like, as a human, like, he never thought this. Who is this character? Who is this man? He never thought that the thing would go missing. And that's kind of Martha's only job, was to look after that watch. I mean, no offense, if I was Martha, I think I'd have taken it really early on and, like, just kept it in the TARDIS.
Yeah, because she runs back to look at his coat in the TARDIS. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you? I suppose he was keeping it on him subconsciously. But yeah, if I was Martha, I'd be like, I'm locking that in the TARDIS.
But the whole point is it's just there and it doesn't really mean he comes with it and it's just there. And he even says in that thing, like, I'll have it, but I won't be able to hear it or anything.
But also, I've just thought of a plot hole, maybe. So say the Doctor's disguised as a human to get away from this family, right? Oh, no, sorry, I've just answered my own question. They've got a finite amount of time to live, haven't they?
Yeah,
That's why they're desperate. Because I was going to say, he could be there forever, just...
That's why they had 4 months. They had 4 months.
It was 4 months. Yeah, okay, I forgot
So
about that.
I think that was the thing. If they'd have just got that 4 months, she'd have just opened the watch. No one would have died, nothing would have happened. Off they go.
Yeah, true. So it's all Martha's fault now, is it? For not hiding the watch. No,
I think
Tim.
it's the boy's fault for taking the
boy.
watch.
It's the boy. He shouldn't have taken the watch and started opening
And
it.
he shouldn't have. To be fair, he did steal someone's property.
He did, yeah. But it was talking to him, I suppose. So he was like, "What's this?" But no, he shouldn't have taken it. He should not have stolen
said,
that
"What
watch.
is this?" And he would have gone, "That's my watch. What's this, sir?"
But I like how obviously the Doctor does come back. I like the punishment stuff that he does. This is like that harsh Doctor, that like no second chances.
Yeah, they're
that
great
kind
punishment.
of thing. And they're like sort of...
I love the one with the girl in the mirror.
Yeah, they're sort of like fairy tale punishments, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, this would be like the end of a Grimm's fairy tale type thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And those sort of explanations. And that's like the Doctor's way of justice. He's not just going to like kill them or shoot them. He's going to like put them through what... He's like, this is what... Be careful what you wish for type thing.
Yeah.
That's what he would do. Yeah, I really like that. Oh, and that scene at the end where they're saying goodbye to Tim, it is pouring down in that field. They are getting soaked on that day.
Yeah.
You can just tell they're like, been standing out there for ages. Yeah, I definitely like part 1 better with the mystery and everything as it builds up. But overall, I really enjoy the story. This is one that I would go back to again and again. I think it's just got a lot of different things going for it. And it's a great cast. It's just well acted. Like, nobody has, like, a bad part. There's no, like, I can't think of, like, a worse moment in this. There's not, like, oh, that acting was bad or that bit of the plot was useless. Like, it just all just works really well. And the music's really great in it as well. And just having those 2 parts to build up the story. Because I suppose you have to see them settled in and Martha's life and everything and life at the school. And you've got time to have... Just to have those conversations with Joan slowly realising that he is an alien, you know, where she's asking him about his home and everything, and he's just reading off facts rather than like...
Well, fair to question it as well, like you say.
Yeah.
Just fair to question, like...
You couldn't have done this in 45 minutes with all that stuff, and I wouldn't want to lose any of the story as well. So, yeah, it's a highlight of the series, really. And then the really emotional bit at the end where they're in the future and he's old at the war memorial thing.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's a lovely one.
Really, again, you didn't need to necessarily have, but to add that in as well just rounds it off. Yeah, a really good one. I was hoping, I was watching part 2 thinking, I bet you're a bit bored in part 2. I knew it. I
wasn't bored, but I was just I had a dip.
Yeah, but if you're watching this like separate, like one a week, you might not necessarily.
No, exactly. I think that's the difference. I think because it's such a good cliffhanger, I was like, "Ooh, go on," but I think I did need the break.
I'm so sorry, everybody, again, that I have my wars mixed up. I'm so terrible. I don't know why I thought that. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Get over it.
Do you know what? No, I'm thinking of. Do you know what? That man that gave us like a really bad review because in Curse of Fenric, we didn't know what was going on in the war, who the Russians were doing. That's why he gave us a bad review. And now he better not listen to this one Please don't give us a bad review because I didn't know my history, okay?
I knew the history. Let it be known, I knew the history.
I just never realised. Yeah, in my mind it was coming up to World War II. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, lesson learned. This is what Doctor Who does. You learn about history and stuff. Oh,
And which
dear.
one's which?
And which one's which, yeah. I do love a war film, though. I love a war film.
I know you do.
I think so. I just don't. Oh my God, I'm just questioning everything now. Oh my God.
Everything.
I do feel. Do you know what? I was thinking about watching a war film this weekend. Anyway. But next, did you see the preview for the next episode?
I don't know if I did. Oh, no, I did. Don't blink.
Yes. So it's Blink next week. Another good one. We're on a good run of episodes this series now. Yeah, excited to talk about that one. I might listen to the audiobook now of Human Nature. Maybe I'll start, and then next time we record, I can tell you a few other things about it. But as I say, 8 hours is difficult with an audio reading sometimes. Just want to fall asleep.
Of course you do.
Right, well, everyone, thanks for listening. I hope you've also learned what war's what and your history. Oh, God. Oh, dear.
It's true, and Mark. Don't worry about it. That's what I say.
Okay. In the meantime, everyone, you can find us at Too Watch Who on social media and at patreon.com as well. And we'll see you all next week for Blink. Don't miss it. Bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.